Well, I'm for abortion. I think people should take all the protection that is possible. But when something bad happens to you, or when something goes wrong with the protection, I think then abortion should be an option.
I believe in abortion only under certain circumstances. If it's detrimental to the mom, under bad conditions, things of that nature, that's why I'm for it. But in regular circumstances, if situation arises, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, life is a beautiful thing.
I do not believe in abortion because I think if you took the responsibility to have your own actions, and you know, that child is as a living being. What right do you get to take that life? I mean, even though it didn't actually come in to the world, you're responsible for that life.
It shouldn't be too easy to have an abortion.
What do you think of abortion?
I think abortion helps people to make their lives better.
Assertions that abortion prevents unwanted pregnancies and raises the quality of life are false.
Coral Ridge Ministries presents 10 Truths About Abortion. Truth 7.
Abortion cheapens human life.
Far from improving the quality of life, abortion actually cheapens life. Who can forget the story of Melissa Drexler?
During her trial, 18-year-old Melissa Drexler confessed in court, "I went to the prom, and I went into the bathroom and delivered the baby. The baby was born alive. I knowingly took the baby out of the toilet and wrapped a series of garbage bags around the baby. I was aware of what I was doing at the time when I placed the baby in the bag, and I was further aware that what I did would most certainly result in the death of the baby."
We'd be surprised and saddened to know the number of babies that are left to die after an abortion. Jill Stanek worked as a nurse at Christ Hospital in Chicago.
I applied to work at only one hospital, Christ Hospital, because I thought it was a Christian hospital and I wouldn't have to deal with such moral and ethical dilemmas such as abortion, because who would think that a hospital named Christ would be involved in such a thing? But I came to work one night as a nurse in the labor and delivery department, and I received two terrible blows. One was finding out that the hospital was involved in abortion. We heard in report that night that we were aborting a second trimester baby with Down syndrome. And the second was finding out that the method of abortion that the hospital used sometimes results in babies being aborted alive, and if they are aborted alive, they're allowed to die with no medical intervention. One nurse friend told me about an aborting patient that she had who didn't realize that her baby could be aborted alive, and not only that, when the baby was born and she saw this and became hysterical, she also became hysterical because the baby didn't appear to have the handicaps that she'd been told he was going to have, which was why she was aborting in the first place. So she screamed for someone to help her baby, and my friend ran over to the unit and grabbed the neonatologist, and he came over and he assessed the baby, and he had to look at the mom and tell her, "There's nothing that I can do for your son because he was born too soon." And the mom was so traumatized that she had to be tranquilized, and it was left up to this little guy's grandmother to rock him for the only half hour that she would ever have with him. My coworker Allison described walking into the soiled utility room once to find a live aborted baby laying naked next to the sink, and once to find a live aborted baby laying naked on the scale. And she said that she herself once inherited a patient at change of shift who had aborted her baby alive and didn't want anything to do with him. And so Allison was running back and forth caring for her two patients. And she said every time she would go into the mom's room, the mom would say to her, "Is he dead yet? Is he dead yet?"
This nation needs to experience an awakening. We need to understand the impact that abortion is having on children, born and unborn. We need to get back to the basics, understanding the value of human life, that life is a treasure. Abortion cheapens human life, but we understand that life is valuable and is a gift from God.